Founders Edition. On 12th episode is Facebook. Facebook is an American online social media and social networking service based in Menlo Park, California, and a flagship service of the namesake company Facebook, Incorporated.
It was founded by Mark Zuckerberg, along with fellow Harvard College students and roommates Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCollum, Dustin Moskowitz, and Chris Hughes.
The founders initially limited Facebook membership to Harvard students.
Membership was expanded to Ivy League universities, MIT, and higher education institutions in the Boston area, and various other universities, and lastly high school students.
Since 2006, anyone who claims to be at least 13 years old has been allowed to become a registered user of Facebook, though this may vary depending on local laws.
The name comes from the Facebook directories often given to American university students.
Facebook can be accessed from devices with internet connectivity, such as personal computers, tablets, and smartphones.
After registering, users can create a profile revealing information about themselves.
They can post text, photos, and multimedia, which is shared with any other users that have agreed to be their friend, or with a different privacy setting with any reader.
Users can also use various embedded apps, join common interest groups, buy and sell items or services on Marketplace, and receive notifications of their Facebook friends' activities and activities of Facebook pages they follow.
Facebook claimed that it had more than 2.3 billion monthly active users as of December 2018. Facebook has been subject to extensive media coverage and many controversies.
These often involve user privacy, as with the Cambridge Analytica data scandal, political manipulation, as with the 2016 U.S. elections, psychological effects such as addiction and low self-esteem, and content that some users find objectionable, including fake news, conspiracy theories, and copyright infringement.
Commentators have accused Facebook of helping to spread false information and fake news.
In 2017, Facebook partnered with fact-checkers from the Pointer Institute's International Fact-Checking Network to identify and mark false content. Though most ads from political candidates are exempt from this program.
Critics of the program accuse Facebook of not doing enough to remove false information from its website.
Facebook was the most downloaded mobile app of the 2010s globally.
Zuckerberg built a website called FaceMash in 2003 while attending Harvard University.
The site was comparable to Hot or Not and used photos compiled from the online Facebooks of 9 houses, placing two next to each other at a time and asking users to choose the hotter person.
FaceMash attracted 450 visitors and 22,000 photo views in its first 4 hours.
The site was sent to several campus group list servers, but was shut down a few days later by Harvard administration.
Zuckerberg faced expulsion and was charged with breaching security, violating copyrights, and violating individual privacy.
Ultimately, the charges were dropped.
Zuckerberg expanded on this project that semester by creating a social study tool ahead of an art history final exam.
He uploaded all art images to a website, each of which was accompanied by a comments section, then shared the site with his classmates.
Facebook is a student directory featuring photos and personal information.
In 2003, Harvard had only a paper version along with private online directories.
Zuckerberg told the Crimson, everyone's been talking a lot about a universal Facebook within Harvard.
I think it's kind of silly that it would take the university a couple of years to get around to it.
I can do it better than they can, and I can do it in a week.
In January 2004, Zuckerberg coded a new website known as the Facebook, inspired by a Crimson editorial about Face Mash, stating, "It is clear that the technology needed to create a centralized website is readily available. The benefits are many."
Zuckerberg met with Harvard student Eduardo Severin, and each of them agreed to invest $1,000 in the site.
On February 4, 2004, Zuckerberg launched the Facebook, originally located at thefacebook.com.
6 days after the site launched, Harvard seniors Tyler Winklevoss, and Levi Narendra accused Zuckerberg of intentionally misleading them into believing that he would help them build a social network called HarvardConnection.com.
They claimed that he was instead using their ideas to build a competing product.
The three complained to the Crimson, and the newspaper began an investigation.
They later sued Zuckerberg, settling in 2008 for 1.2 million shares, worth $300 million at Facebook's IPO.
Membership was initially restricted to students of Harvard College.
Within a month, more than half the undergraduates had registered.
Dustin Moskowitz, Andrew McCollum, and Chris Hughes joined Zuckerberg to help manage the growth of the website.
In March 2004, Facebook expanded to Columbia, Stanford, and Yale.
It then became available to all Ivy League colleges, Boston University, New York University, MIT, and successively most universities in the United States and Canada. In mid-2004, Napster co-founder and entrepreneur Sean Parker, an informal advisor to Zuckerberg, became company president.
In June 2004, the company moved to Palo Alto, California.
It received its first investment later that month from PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel.
In 2005, the company dropped the from its name after purchasing the domain name Facebook.com for $200,000.
The domain had belonged to About Face Corporation. In May 2005, Axel Partners invested $12.7 million in Facebook, and Jim Breyer added $1 million of his own money.
A high school version of the site launched in September 2005.
Eligibility expanded to include employees of several companies, including Apple Incorporated and Microsoft. In May 2006, Facebook hired its first intern, Julie Zuo.
After a month, Zuo was hired as a full-time engineer.
On September 26, 2006, Facebook opened to everyone at least 15 years old with a valid email address.
By late 2007, Facebook had 100,000 pages on which companies promoted themselves.
Organization pages began rolling out in May 2009.
On October 24, 2007, Microsoft announced that it had purchased a 1.6% share of Facebook for $240 million. Facebook a total implied value of around $15 billion.
Microsoft's purchase included rights to place international advertisements. In October 2008, Facebook announced that its international headquarters would locate in Dublin, Ireland.
In September 2009, Facebook said that it had achieved positive cash flow for the first time.
A January 2009 Complete.com study ranked Facebook the most used social networking service by worldwide monthly active users. The company announced 500 million users in July 2010.
Half of the site's membership used Facebook daily for an average of 34 minutes, while 150 million users accessed the site from mobile devices.
A company representative called the milestone a quiet revolution.
In November 2010, based on Second Market Incorporated, an exchange for privately held company shares, Facebook's value was $41 billion.
The company had slightly surpassed eBay to become the third largest American web company after Google and Amazon.com. On November 15, 2010, Facebook announced it had acquired the domain name FB.com from the American Farm Bureau Federation for an undisclosed amount.
On January 11, 2011, the Farm Bureau disclosed $8.5 million in domain sales income, making the acquisition of FB.com one of the 10 highest domain sales in history.
In February 2011, Facebook announced plans to move its headquarters to the former Sun Microsystems campus in Menlo Park, California.
In March 2011, it was reported that Facebook was removing about 20,000 profiles daily for violations such as spam, graphic content, and underage use, as part of its efforts to boost cybersecurity.
Statistics showed that Facebook reached 1 trillion page views in the month of June 2011, making it the most visited website, tracked by DoubleClick.
According to a Nielsen study, Facebook had in 2011 become the second most accessed website in the US behind Google.
China blocked Facebook in 2009. We will continue about Facebook in part 2, so stay tuned.